Hey data enthusiast, ever found yourself juggling between Excel sheets, zip files and bunch of scattered data files? Well, fear not. In today's video, we are diving into the ultimate Alteryx guide on connecting Excel sheets, unzipping files and handling multiple data files like pro. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned data wrangler, stay tuned as we unravel the secrets to streamline your workflow and conquer the data chaos. Let's dive into the magic of Alteryx and master the art of connecting, extracting, and transforming data effortlessly. Let's get started. Okay, so today in this video, in this tutorial, we are going to see three ways to connect your data with the Alteryx. So the first and foremost way is connecting your Excel sheets. Okay, now while you are connecting your Excel sheets, there is one thing which you need to understand, that you need to in Excel sheets we have sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So that part we need to pay attention to. While we are connecting any sheets, we need to mention which sheet we want to connect. Okay, then we will be seeing the second thing is zip files, how we can connect zip files. So in zip folder, there might be a situation where you got a zip folder because of the data issue, because of the size issue, the data is converted into a zip file, and then you are consuming that for Alteryx data cleaning process. So at that time you can connect the zipped folder as well for processing your data. We will be seeing that also. And the third part which we are going to discuss in this tutorial is your folder, how you can attach a folder and how you can connect multiple files with the Alteryx. Okay, so stay tuned, and if you have not subscribed us, please hit that subscribe button and click on the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we post a new video. Okay, so let's get started. So for connecting your data, we will simply select on input data and we'll click on setup connection. If you have not seen my previous video, you can click on the I button and you can get that video, okay, where we are talking about how we can connect text file and the other file formats. So here I am selecting the Excel sheet file format. I'm clicking on that. Once I click on that, I will be getting an option to get to select the file. Okay, why it is not giving? Because it is just open right now. So I'll just close it and I'll refresh it. Okay, so now it is giving me the option to select a sheet. If it is having multiple sheets, you need to select the sheets and then you can import. Okay, so if you click on OK, you can see the data over here on your left side. Now to browse it, we will simply put a browse tool over here and we will get the data. So if I click on run, I will get the data of the Excel sheet. This is how you can connect your Excel sheets. Okay, I'll close this. I don't want to see this message again, so I'm closing it. Okay, now if I want to change the name, we know how we can do it. So I'm not going to change the annotations right now. I'll just keep it as it is. Now we'll go to the next part of the tutorial, that is connecting your, this is done, like you have connected your data with Excel sheet with Alteryx. So this part is done. Now we are moving ahead with the second part, that is connect your zip file. So let's assume you have a huge data into your database, and due to some reasons, some circumstances, due to the file size issues, they have converted the data file into the zip file and now they have given it to you. So this is my zip file which is given to me from the database team. Now I want this file to be connected to my Alteryx to process it. So if I double click on it, you can see over here, I will open it into the folder format. So basically it will show me what all file it will contains. Okay, so it contains, as of now it contains only one file, so it is showing me one file. Okay, now if it contains more than one files, it will show me those files. But here is a requirement that whenever you are connecting the this file, the zipped file, those all sheets or all the files should have equal number of counts of the tables. Okay, it should have follow the same count to convert it into the tables. Okay, so now we will go to Alteryx again we will drag the input data. Okay, I will drag it over here and I will click on set up a connection. Then I will go over here files and then I'll click select file. Then I'll go to my customer data. Okay, this is my zip folder, so I'll click on OK. Now it will ask me which file I need to connect, so I can select that particular file and then I can connect it. Once I do this, you can see on the left hand side over here that all the list of the documents, all the list of the values, it is showing over here. Okay, now what I will do, I will just simply click select the browse tool and I'll connect to it to see the values onto the output console. Okay, so once I click on it, it will simply create the linking between them, and now I will hit on the run option. Okay, so once I click on the run option, it will show me the results. Okay, it will take some time and it will show me the results. That is how you can connect your zip files. Okay, that is done. The zip file connection is done. Just keep in mind, whenever you are connecting a zip file, if there are more than one files, their file format and their data type, like number of columns, should be same, so that we can connect them and we can get the data. Now moving on to our next part of this tutorial is, consider a situation where you have n number of files, a huge data in different files scattered all over the place, and you have segregated it into one folder, but there are multiple files which you need to import to your Alteryx for data analysis. So now in this situation, Alteryx again help us with one option, that is your directory. Okay, so this directory option comes in rescue for us. It will directly click on it and we'll put it over here. Once we put it over here, it will ask you two main important questions. The first is directory and the second is file specification. So the first is directory, from where you want files to be collected. So here we will give the location of the folder. Okay, so I'll show you in general. So this is my folder which I will be connecting. Now here I have 4 different files. Okay, 4 different CSV files. Okay, comma separated values. Okay, so now I am connecting that file. And one more thing I would like to highlight over here. Let's suppose this field this file have 4 columns, so all the rest of the files should have also 4 columns. The same principle which is applied into your zip file folder, here also same principle is applied. Now the second condition is, here you need to give the file extension as well. Okay, so this is CSV file, so if it contains CSV file, text file, and zip file and whatever n number of file formats, if you want to connect a file, a particular file, then this file specification you need to specify. Now here we will write .csv. We we want is CSV files we want. From where? From, we will give the location, that is customer data, customer west. Okay, now I'll click OK, and once I do that, I need to browse it. So that part is done. I will drag and drop it over here. Okay, and when I hit it, I will get the details like the file directory, the path name, the file name, and all the things of that particular file folder contains. Okay, so this is the file path, this is the directory and file name. These are the file names. If you see over here and over here, these are the California, Colorado, Adder, Washington. You can see those file formats over here. Now we have connected that folder, still we have not used those values. One more point which I would like to highlight over here is, let's suppose file 1 contains 5 records and all the file contains 5 records. Okay, so in total we have 20 records. Now here what Alteryx will do, it needs a template, so we can give any file as a template. We will give the first file as a template. Now one part is done. Now the second part, which I have mentioned about the number of columns should be same, so this template will create a structure of a table where it will store the values from the first file, that is 5 records, and then again it will take the another file and store all the 5 records from the another files. Then the third file will be picked up and the 5 records will be stored, and the last 5 records which are stored into the table which is created. So total 20 records will be stored into that particular file. Okay, that is how it is done. So the template and the number of columns should be same. So here we have connected the browse. Now we can see the file formats and the directory and the file path. Okay, now what I want to be these files to be shown. So for that I will use data dynamic input. Okay, so I'll drag this dynamic input over here and I will paste it right here. Now once I paste dynamic output, it will ask me input data source template. So remember the template, I will select the template from here, set up a connection, and I will go to files. I will select the template from here. Okay, I'll click on it and I'll select the first file. This is my template file. I am connecting it so that my data will be loaded from the first file. And now I'll click on OK. Now I will select the field. Okay, that will be full path. Here we need to select the full path. I need to change it to entire, change entire. Okay, then here I will be selecting the, just give me a second. So here we'll be selecting that. Once we click on outside, and okay, my system is a bit slow, so it is not giving me the option. Just give me a second. I will select this file. I'll go edit it, or what I will do, I will simply delete this and I will select the other one. Okay, I'll just remove it. We need to go to here. Okay, to the search bar, and we need to search for dynamic input. Okay, and then we'll put it over here, and once we put it over here, we need to select the option. Okay, full path. Then we need to select the file, what file we want to connect. We'll select that file from here, that is files. We'll go to select, then we'll select the sample template file. Okay, so this is my template which I am giving as a template. I will wait for the records to be loaded, and then I'll click OK, and then I'll go here and I'll change it, the action I will change to entire file path, and then I will click outside. Once that is done, it will load all the records. Now to see the records, I will simply browse the tool. I will drag the browse tool over here and I'll put it over here. Now I will hit on the run, and what it will do, it will take five records from the file 1, 5 records from file 2, 5 records from file 3, and 5 records from file 4, and total 20 records it will show. So whatever records were present into all these 4 files has been accumulated, and 233 records has been shown onto your result set. Okay, so this is how you can connect your zip file, Excel file, and your folder which you have a multiple data. So now let's quickly revise what all points we have discussed today. So while we are connecting the Excel sheets, there is nothing like a huge thing which you are doing. Just you are dragging and dropping and then you are connecting. One thing which you need to keep in mind, that is while you are connecting your Excel sheets, you need to mention which sheet 1, sheet 2, or sheet name which you want to connect. Okay, then we will see about the next step, that is the connecting your zip file. So while you are connecting your zip files, there is one more thing which you need to keep in mind, that you need to select that particular column or that particular file which you want to be included, and that all the folders, all the files which are mentioned over there has to have the same number of columns which are followed by all the files. Then in terms of folder, when you are connecting the folder, so there is a requirement of the folder. So while you are connecting the folder, we have certain number of points which we'll quickly highlight. Okay, we use this option to add all records into single table. Okay, suppose we have 4 files in 5 with 5 records in each, so total we will have 20 records in a table. That is how the whole table will be created. When we have a huge file, now where we will use this option, when we have a huge file and then we want to connect all the files, so this option will help us to do that. We will click on the directory. Okay, directory option is used for folders, keep in mind directory. Okay, that is why I have kept it into the capitals. Okay, now while you are connecting the directory, there are two more options, there are two more factors which you need to keep in mind. The first one is file path. You need to give the file path, the location of the folder where the folder is located, and the table name columns, and count of the count names, and the table columns and count and names has to be same across the file. Okay, only count will, like if file 1 have 5 tables, 5 columns, and file 2 have 5 columns but their names are different, that will not be the case. These files has to have the same name and the same count of the columns. Then file specification will have the dot, so asterisk. So asterisk means all the files. If you want to connect all the files irrespective of their extensions, you can do that as well, but suggested way is you need to specify which file you want to connect. Okay, so you can select CSV file, txt file, and other zip files or other files you can select, and then you can connect them. If you want you can mention that and you can connect all these files. After selecting file path, we will put browse option. Once you select the file, and then you need to browse it. Once you browse it, you will get the directory path, file names, and other details of that particular folder. After that, you need to select a dynamic input. Where you will find it, you will directly go to the search bar and you will search for dynamic option, dynamic input, and you will find it. Once you click on it, you will drag it and drop it into your work area. Then field, you need to set the field and the action, where you need to set field as full path and action as change entire file path. So it will change once the first file is consumed, the second file path will be placed, and then it will consume the second file, and so on and so forth. Okay, now browse option. Now again we will put the browse option to get the details. Okay, so this is my second browse option to get all the count, all the records from these 4 files. Okay, that's all. That is how we are going to add multiple files. I hope you enjoyed this video, enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, any queries, any doubts regarding the topic which I have covered today, you can write me a comment and we will be discussing it into our next session. That's all for today. Thank you.